This is an example of a fossil. So you can tell this is, this is imprint of a leaf. It's not actual leaf. Maybe this leaf fell and there was some dust and, soil fell on top of that, and it just got solid over time, turned into rock, and then the imprint got mineralized. It's not actual leaf, but it's an imprint of a leaf. You can look at this leaf and you can see maybe if the same shape of the trees or the plants exist today. So that's something that's called fossil. Fossil is not actual organism, it's a remnant of that organism, like an imprint. So this is a first evidence that we have fossils. Have you guys heard about woolly mammoth? Woolly mammoth.
Yes.
Yes.
So that,
I have.
what do you guys heard about it?
It's an old creature that's kind of like elephants today, but it had fur on it, and they were huge.
So
Yeah, they roam North America.
yeah, so there was a woolly mammoth that was found, and this actually had, it was frozen for really long time, and there was actual DNA that you could get from this woolly mammoth. Whereas here, you don't have the actual plant leaf, it's just the imprint of that. So I'm just trying to tell you some differences here. So it's not actual leaf, it's just imprint of it, that's a fossil. Whereas here you have the actual DNA that you can get. There's maybe some even meat left on it if it's frozen for a long time. So here, using fossils, and now we have DNA technology, we can also look at our anatomy, means our bone structure, and we can compare to other animals. We can see if species are related to one another. Here, this graph is showing number of amino acids that might differ between species. So we have humans here, we're comparing these to humans. Rhesus monkey has maybe a few of them that differ from humans. Mouse has a little bit more, maybe 25. Chicken has more. So we can use this evidence of molecular sequencing to see how many amino acids differ and how closely related we are. If we were in class, I would tell you that if we are talking about species, that you're 100% related to the student sitting next to you. And then you might say, oh, we look completely different. And then you probably heard about how your siblings are 25% related to you. That is true. That is true when you're comparing the differences between the, the family members. But if we're talking about species, we all are humans. We are the same species. So when you're looking at species, all the human species, they are 100% related because they're the same species. But if you start looking at the difference, which is 0.999% or something, then you start seeing some differences between the humans. Maybe you look different, maybe you have different color hair or something like that. So those differences go for that 0.99 or 0.099% or whatever that number is. This is the first fossil, or this is not the first fossil, the fossil that goes back to 3.8 billion years. So that's called stromatolite. So stromatolite, this is the fossil that they found. It's the oldest known fossil to humans. I need you to know the name. This is very important. I need you to know the name of a stromatolite fossil. So this is bacteria. This looks like coral leaf, but this is just bacteria, photosynthetic bacteria. And this is fossilized. So it's got fossilized. These still exist today. So if you were interested in seeing this, you could go to West Coast of Australia. But there's nothing else there. I really want to go see this, but I don't want to travel for a week and then just see this and be like, now what? There's nothing else around there, but these still exist today. So this is stromatolite. That's the simple first organism that existed, and we dated this back using carbon dating to 3.8 billion years. So this supports Darwin's theory of evolution, that first we had simple cells, and then it got maybe more complex. So this is the simple organism, and then it got more complex maybe over time. Paleontology is the study of fossil remains on or other clues of past life. So this would be an example. And then the fossils, they provide the original evidence for evolution. So stromatolite, please highlight this. I will ask you this on the exam, and I might ask you how, how back far can you go with this fossil? That's 3.8 billion years. There are some other fossil examples that your book provides. So here's petrified wood. Here's poop. So maybe by looking at poop, you can tell what this animal is used to eat. Here's a footprint. They can look at the footprint and see maybe how heavy the animal was or how fast they ran or something like that. Bones are the first basically big evidence they looked at. So there's all different kinds of fossil evidence that they can find. So there's another one. I don't know if you guys heard that they found new evidence for dinosaurs. Have you guys heard about that? Through fossils?
No.
No. So this is a fossil they found, and they said we need to go back and redraw our photos for the dinosaurs because according to this fossil, they had wings. So that's the new evidence they found. This is called Archaeopteryx. Dinosaurs, they had wings. So there's an update. We need to update the pictures of dinosaurs that we draw because they found this new evidence here. Another thing about fossils is that there are missing links. That means people who do not want to agree with the fossil evidence, they say you cannot really show me going from this step to this step, or from this species to this species, or they say, well, you cannot show me that fish turned into amphibian because you don't have all the evidence. So there are missing links, and I will tell you the reason why there are missing links. So even though the fossil evidence is diverse, it's often challenging or impossible to find fossils between the groups. So you might find a fossil for this, and then you might find a fossil for this, and then there'll be these two missing links. But we do have one perfect example, and that's this one here. So now there are no missing links between the ancestor of a horse and the modern horse. So the ancestor of the horse was called Heracothyrium, and they were able to find all the links between Heracothyrium and today's modern horse, Equus. So we were able to find all the changing species in between. So there are no missing links. It's a perfect example of evolution. So the reason this fossil evidence is kind of biased means you have a lot of evidence for one species, you might not have enough for the other. It depends on basically if that species can even be fossilized. So if they're soft-bodied, like a jellyfish, they won't be fossilized. So that's the reason fossil record is incomplete, because some organisms, such as with soft bodies, they fail to fossilize. If it's an organism that is maybe has hard shell that can get fossilized, then you'll have evidence for that organism. So that's why it's kind of biased, depending on if it can even get fossilized. Also, erosion and movement of tectonic plates might destroy fossils. So you might not even be able to find it even if it got fossilized, because it got lost through tectonic plates, because the environment is changing and a lot of different things are happening. So that's why fossil evidence is biased. Here's another example. These are found in a landmass. So this kind of tells, I think it's in Oklahoma. Yeah, so Oklahoma showed that there was water once there. So now they are landlocked, but there was water, they were covered in water once. So that's another evidence. So fossils can help us kind of piece the history together, maybe what was there before, what was happening during that time.